what exactly is Bati, or if I've even pronounced that correctly?
Yeah, you did. Bazi, it's actually a more complete form of Chinese astrology where it takes into consideration your year, month, day, and hour energy patterns. Well, comparing this with the animal signs, it's actually a more complete system because, animal signs are generic to, it gives a general overview because, millions of people could be born in the same year. Whereas if you're taking parts, which literally means 8 characters, it takes your year, month, day, and hour information into consideration to form an analysis. And also, I think the misconception that a lot of people have is that it is a form of fortune telling, but actually it's not. Well, people's perception is similar to fortune telling, but it's not. What it is actually a personal guide to what are the best options for the year. So it cannot predict your future, but it can act as a guide to what you can do to design the future that you want. So everyone will have a certain type of energy patterns for the year in which you will make certain decisions in order to either use or not use the energies that are presented for you.
How different is it to Western astrology that we get in the newspaper all the time, where it's like you'll find the love of your life kind of thing every single week?
I guess, first of all, Western astrology, if you do the serious level of Western astrology, it's actually a very useful tool. Unfortunately, it has watered down to fortune telling, like what you just said, right? Because people like to just know whether their fate is good or not. But fate and destiny works hand in hand, right? And Western astrology talks about the moving planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus. In Chinese astrology, we actually refer more to the constellations and moving planets are just elements that interact with the constellations. So if you just treat everything as energy patterns, right? And I think one of the main things people are confused is because how can a planet like planet Jupiter, how can it affect me, right? Well, just think of the closest one that we know, the sun and the moon. These two are stars. They are also planets. And if you just have absence of the sun alone, this we'll all just die. Okay.
Yeah.
All living forces, creatures in this world will disappear. And that's one planet. And if you look at the moon influences the tides, how our bodies, 75% of our bodies are made of water. So on certain days where there's a full moon, if you are generally an emotional person, you become more emotional and sentimental.
I don't know what you mean.
That's right there. Yeah.
And if you are a crazy person, you become crazier. And that's why we have terms like lunatics.
Right, that's me right there.
Lunatics.
Yeah, right, yeah, lunatic.
Wow.
Exactly,
Okay,
right.
I never put 2 and 2 together again. Okay.
Right. So that's how it works.
All right. So how does it work with getting this 8 characters reading done? So first of all, like, you said it literally
What are
translates
the 8,
to
right?
Yeah, exactly. What are the 8 and how does one go to someone and get it done?
Okay, so generally you just need to get the charts. The charts are freely available in my website or anyone's website nowadays on astrology. And once you plot your chart with your Western Gregorian date of birth, you will see these characters, and we basically call them the animal signs. I think you know that,
right?
The year dragon, the month of the dog, and stuff. And so every year there is an almanac that actually tells you what type of stars or energy patterns are available for each animal sign. So it's sort of, if you understand the energy patterns and you know what it's for, then you generally know what is available for you to use. So if some of these energies are classified as being more positive and some of them are a little bit more brutal, I personally like the more brutal ones because it allows you to be a badass and do more, unconventional stuff and break free from the norm. But then again, according to all the old books, people like the goody-goody two-shoe stars. So you're just going to be good and nice and obedient. So it depends on who's reading the chart.
I have a question. You said that you like the more brutal ones. Are you saying then that basically if you get a brutal one, it's not actually negative. It's just a more powerful, perhaps aggressive type of energy, which then you have to know how to use in order to get it to work for you?
Correct. Absolutely correct. Now, for an example, This year is the year of the ox, right? Starting February the 3rd, we will enter the year of the ox. And now I say February the 3rd knowingly because most of you think it's February the 12th, right?
Yes, Chinese New Year.
That's the lunar calendar. The solar calendar transits to the year of the ox on February the 3rd, about 10:58 p.m. So the ox clashes with the goat. So traditionally, now a clash is like it's like an opposition of two planets. Okay, so in Western world they call it an opposition. In the Chinese metaphysics we call it a clash. So people will say, okay, you're clashing with the year. So they have a term for it. It's called fan tai sui. Means you're clashing with the Grand Duke of the year. So a lot of times you see people go to the temple, they start praying, oh no, it's a bad year because the Grand Duke of the year don't like me. I'm gonna have bad luck. And so a lot of people think like that. So the way I see this is different, right? The way you look at a clash, it's good because it means that you're forced to change. You have to pivot. You gotta do something out of the norm. And all breakthroughs, success in life happens outside the comfort zone. If you're always in your comfort zone, there's no improvement. So it's either you force yourself to change, circumstances force you to change, or you initiate the change in life. So I see it as something that is good. It's time for you to change. If not, right now you will see in 2021 the gap for the middle class is disappearing. The rich become richer, the poor becomes poorer. So if we don't make that change, we're going to fall to one of these, and I don't think it's going to be the upper one.
Right. So that means generally for a lot of people, 2020 was a tough year. The Grand Duke wasn't good to the middle class.
2021, we are not out of the woods yet. So
right. Okay.
It's better only because nothing can be worse than 2020.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But let's look at it this way now. All of us are in the situation where it's a lockdown.
Oh no. Pause.
So 2021, we are not exactly out of the woods yet. It's just that comparing this year to last year, nothing can be worse than that experience of being first being locked down, right? So now we're on our second lockdown, or some parts of the world is on the third lockdown. People we're used to it, right? So it's not such a shock. It's still not good. We realize that it's not good. It's just that we're not experiencing it as something that is worse than what we had before. So 2021 is not exactly out of the woods yet. But I think if we have managed to pivot, we have managed to change to do, a different way of connecting with our clients, our friends, our work. There's also a lot of opportunities to succeed. And that's why I think, some of the animal signs that we see today that so-called doesn't have the auspicious stars like what they think it is. Sometimes it also gives you an opportunity to break free from, doing what is usual and doing something that is unusual. And I think people do succeed when they're doing something that is outside of their comfort zone most of the time. And in all aspects of life.
If that hasn't been proven last year and this year, I don't know when it will be proved more.
Yeah, like a lot of people started getting into food and stuff.
Very
like
entrepreneurial. Yeah, they had to be, which is interesting because it always used to be, oh, not everyone can be an entrepreneur. And yet you see the regular Joe just like figuring stuff out and doing it.
Because you have to, right?
Yeah, which is brilliant. Okay, let's look at things like luck. It's a big thing.
Yep.
Everyone wants more luck. Lady luck, please come my way. What do you look at in terms of how luck manifests or pops into a chart when you're doing Bati readings?
Right. I think what people call as luck is generally they get what they want. If they get what they want in the most easiest way, without much effort, that's most people think that will be good luck. Agree? Right?
Yeah.
So luck is generally a combination of two forces. One is fate, the other is destiny. So although these two things sound quite similar, but there is a difference between fate and destiny. So fate is generally what is fixed. For example, if you go to the bar and met the girl of your dreams, that's fate. What you choose to do with her that night, that's destiny.
Okay? Sorry. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So that destiny implies that there's a choice, there's a free will to do something with what you're given. So while we could see from your destiny chart, your chart of your parts is like your fate, like what's in store. But a lot of people might not choose to do something useful with it. Because generally most of the population expects, what's good, like, oh, just give it to me, right? Make it good for me. You can't without doing something. So if let's say an animal sign has all the good stars, like rooster and monkey in 2021, they have all the good stars. But suppose they do nothing, it would be like 10 times 0 equals 0. So nothing will happen because you didn't do anything. You just stayed at home during the entire lockdown. Whereas those with good stars and did something, right? They did something, then it will be 10 times 1, 10 times 2. Now you get something that is huge, that will be different for you this entire year.
Okay, so
I like that.
yeah, I like that very much. That sort of again, it speaks back to choice and autonomy in a way of commanding your own sailboat of destiny.
In a way, it's also the same as if things are bad. Like,
if
that's
things
fated. That means a flood is coming. After, what can I do? Well, you can buy a boat or whatever it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Put all the animals on the boat.
Analogy right now is that the storm is the same for everybody, but you could be on a boat, you could be on a yacht, you could be on a sampan, right? So it's a question of what tool that you're on, but the storm is same for everybody. Right now is a storm.
So in terms of sort of it is what it is. It's what you do with it. Say, for example, you've got a really terrible year. Like it's no, terrible's the wrong word. It's going to be a real humdinger of a year. Yeah, there's lots of choppiness. Brutal year. Are there ways in which we can shift and use the energies or amplify the quieter ones to actually give you, I don't know, whether it's the fortitude, resilience, or whatever it is that you might need to sort of navigate that? Like, how does that sort of work?
Absolutely. All right. I understand what you're saying. If it's basically a bad year, like extremely bad, what can we do to turn things around? Yeah. There are 5 aspects that influence this. Okay. So one of the aspects is bad circumstances, which obviously is what you're describing. The circumstance is so bad and is affecting what we want to get, and something might be have taken away from us, right? If that is, we felt a lot of loss, we felt frustrated because something's taken away, removed from us involuntarily. Okay, so what can we do? There are 4 things you can actually adjust. Number 1, you could adjust what we, let me tell what they are. The 4 things are heaven, earth, man, and spirit. Heaven, earth, man, and spirit. Now, this might sound esoteric. Let me explain to you in layman's terms. Heaven basically means your thoughts, your mind. Now, the thoughts that go in your mind can consume you if you don't control it. So this is called heaven luck. Now, some people say, well, I can't control my thoughts. Yes, you can. If I say now, don't think of an elephant, you'll be thinking of an elephant.
Think of an elephant, yeah.
Yeah, because I just said the word elephant, but you can also say pie, apple pie, a tree. So you could direct your thoughts. The thoughts belong to you. But if your thoughts is working against you, you will have a miserable life.
Hello heaven. Right? That's what it is, right?
You're living every day. You see, if you wake up tired and feel lethargic, that's because you are consumed by thoughts. That's bad, right? So that could be one of the things you must learn to control. And by control, I mean directing. You could direct the thoughts, but most people don't think they can do that because they never thought of how to do that.
They're not even aware of the thinking, right?
Right, they're not aware of it, right? The second thing that they control in the chart, heaven, earth, man, the second factor is earth. Earth means your emotions, your heart set. Now, you may think, I can't control how I feel. Yes, you can. The feeling belongs to you. If you decide to feel bad your whole day just because of one bad thought, your day is ruined. So if you didn't get circumstances to go your way, you could choose to respond to it. That's the second thing about metaphysics, is about understanding the earth matters, which is emotional matters. If we can also control or learn to direct emotions, we literally control life. So how can we change a person's luck is basically directing thoughts and redirecting emotions. That's the second part. The third part is what we call man luck or human luck. That's your body and well-being. Suppose your well-being, your body starts to not respond to you and really hates you. You drink water also can put on weight, right? You just become sick. You just become tired all the time. It doesn't want to do things. So if you have a rebellious well-being, your body is rebelling against you. You fall sick, you get cancer, you get all this stuff. So it's your body. It should work with you, not against you, right? And the fourth factor is what we call spirit factor. Spirit factor is your own, what we call divine source or higher intelligence. That's your life force energy. It's the very energy that gives you life. If this leaves you, you'll be dead. It's the same life force that programmed, let's say, a mango seed to become a mango tree. Something programmed the seed. I mean, this seed won't get confused. It won't become an orange tree, right?
Yeah.
So, right, caterpillars, right? They know how to transform from a caterpillar to a butterfly without who programmed it. Think about it. That's the life force that we're talking about. Now, if this life force is strong, you survive, you thrive, you get inspired, you find ways to solve problems. Now, these are the four things that we work with when it comes to metaphysics like Bazi astrology or feng shui. We work with these four things literally to transform lives. So when you don't get something or something is taken away and it affects how you feel or how you think, we got to adjust one of these things so that you become better. Now, when these things change, your life also transforms.
Okay,
Does it
so
make sense?
No, it
yeah,
does. It's
absolutely.
great. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. The power coming back to the person also is a good thing, wonderful thing to know, because I think a lot of times people feel that it's all out there away from them, whether there's luck or not, and to know that actually, the luck also starts with me.
It starts with
Um,
you. And if you have alignment of these four realms, you literally could manifest reality. If you think about it, a lot of people don't get what they want is because they have misalignment of thought and emotions. They think they want something, but they feel otherwise.
okay, so
That's the problem.
right, yeah. Um, how closely should someone follow the outcome of the readings given? I mean, you want to be so diligent. And personally know somebody who will follow something to the T if something is told, which, does it?
I think they have gone overboard with that. You see, astrology is a guide. It's not a fatalistic rule. It's not law. Whatever you see in the astrology chart is to guide you to get what you want. So normally in a reading, I always start with talking to someone. What do you want to achieve this year, right? And even that itself is pretty awakening for a lot of people because they just realize a lot of people don't know what they want.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just another year. I don't know if it's good. It can't be good or bad if you don't know what you want. It's just neutral, right? If you realize that you want something and you got something, it's a great year. If you want something, you didn't get something, it's a bad year. Simple as that.
But how can you want something in a year like last year, 2020, when you couldn't do so much stuff?
Okay, so we got to change our direction of what we want. So a lot of times we say we want to have parties, want to travel, we can't, right? Okay, so we can't travel. So what else can we do? We can do something. We can do some other things that allow us to become happier or will allow us to get what we want instead of traveling. So it's a question of realigning to different things. Yep.
Dato Joey, I wonder if you'd be able to share with us some examples of how by taking action and heaven, earth, man, and spirit in alignment all comes together with a client's of yours from last year. That was a sort of success story, and I mean success in terms of how what they got as an outcome, not any success in any particular manner.
Well, I think there are a lot of people who panicked in March and in April, and the first thing they think about is, all right, shit, we're doomed, right? Because this is like the business not moving, and we're in this business. What can we do? So one of the things that we talked about is, first of all, you got to have some stability in terms of your mental and emotional state, and reassess and access what other opportunities. Now, the first thing is because they want things to work their way, but everyone was in a lockdown, just like what is it right now. So one of the things is to tap to creativity and recreate a different stream of income. And our job is to allow them, to help them gain access to their own creativity. Because in every field, it's about being different and being able to access to what is available instead of what is not. And so a lot of people have achieved doing that. For instance, last year, the rat has not exactly an easy year to go through because last year is the rat year. So a lot of
Yes.
rats.
Are you a rat?
I'm a rat.
All right. Okay, cool.
So yeah, they have to go through some form of change. And if they did not, right, if they, first of all, there will be chances where they are forced to change their jobs or change their way of working. So I would encourage them to take it. I would encourage them to take it. And there's some who say, no, I can't, you know, I've not trained to do it. This is not my thing. That's your old you, right? The circumstances has come that now you have to change. The question is, do you have confidence to move ahead? Do you have the courage to move ahead? And so they did. And a lot of people have achieved a different outcome this year. In fact, last year they were different already because they took change.
Actually, about last year, was there anyone specific that you know of that maybe you spoke to them and then they were like, "You're right, 2020, I can still do this." And did they like prosper?
Most of my clients are prosperous right now. In fact, they made 40-50% returns in 2020. So
In what industry?
I know it sounds bad, but that's absolutely true. A lot of them 40-50% easily. I just tell them to stay in the market, you know, don't get out of it. So they're like, oh, you know, it's going down, just stay there, you know. So a lot of them did, and it turns out to be a great year for them.
But were they in the tourism industry? Because tourism industry was horrible though.
Even tourism, they changed. They did some other business. You see, the thing is, you keep thinking that the business must do well. Hey, the business can stop for a while and start the personal investments.
Right.
There's so many things you could ride on, right? For example, logistics. Logistics did really well.
Because
Right,
people
so
were buying stuff online.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
they pivoted, did something different, right? So the question is, you know, sometimes you have to let go of what doesn't work for the time being and use something else that works. That process is difficult, especially when you tell someone who's in a relationship that, you know, their boyfriend just left. Oh, they feel like dying right now. Say, hey, you know, let it be. There will be new ones coming in. At that moment, if you tell them that, they don't believe you. Right?
I don't want a new one. I want that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So our job is like to calm down, right? Calm down, right? It's gonna be all right. You won't die. So and then soon enough, 3-4 months later, someone new pops in, right? So that's all really our job is not magic, right? It sometimes is a bit of encouragement here and there and tell them, you know, what's the next right step to take. It's not about taking, you know, the steps for the next 5 to 10 years. It's about just knowing what's the next right step to take. So fate is just one of the factors. A lot of times we can and we should design the destiny that we want. We are in control. It's just that a lot of people are afraid to control it because if we control and we fail, what happens then, right? But then we didn't know that you can actually readjust the direction and actually become better. A lot of times it's up to us. We are a small dust in this universe, and we think we are so big, right? But we actually are not. Look at the whole universe itself. We're so small. So we think that there's a grand plan that's written for every single person. No, it's like we have a generic plan, and you decide what you want to do. You can make it grand, or you can make it not so grand. It's up to you.
Stop thinking so much about yourself, right? Basically.
Isn't it true? Right? You
Yeah,
think so much of yourself and just one small dust.
Then my life is ruined. No.
It's
What's
like,
the bigger
can you
plan?
think about the dust motes when you kind of do a curtain and you see all the dust motes come in the sunlight?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. But now I'm kind of inspired to
grab the
2021.
bull by its horns,
Yes.
huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dato Joey, do you have anything perhaps to say to JD about what he needs to pay attention to
for 2021.
2021?
Yeah.
It's all based on my date
so-
date of birth and time and everything, right?
I think so. Let me just check if I have it. It's right, year of snake.
Yes.
You are a snake.
I am a snake. 1977,
alright.
April 13th. Anything else you need to know?
Okay, so let me just make it clear for those who are listening. So you're born in the year of the snake.
Yes.
You're born on the month of the dragon. Just take note of this. The month of the dragon. You're born on the day of the rat, and you're born on the hour of the dog. So there's 4 animal signs that you have here in your chart. Okay, 4
I
animal
see.
signs.
Okay, so everything. Oh, I see. Okay, right.
Okay, so you have 4 animal signs right now. So now what happens is, now I will just make it simple for you. There is a network and industrial aspect, and friends. And then there is also career. There's also relationships, and there's also personal investments. Which of these 4 you would like some insights into?
Career.
Okay, so career, we have to look at the month animal sign. So whoever's listening right now, remember, it's your month of birth that determines the influence that you get for
Oh
the
no.
forecast for year. So
Okay.
in
We're losing you a bit again. Okay, now we're good. Okay, so it's the
Are
month.
you losing me again?
Yeah, we're okay now. We're okay. So it's a
You're
month.
good? Okay, it's the month of birth, right? So, yep, the month of birth. So month of birth governs your career aspects, and you have one good star called the moon, and the moon is really good for entrepreneurial insights. So I would suggest to use it. Now it's like that, right? You have to understand that money has got four functions. Okay, one function is obviously to save it. One function is to spend it.
Right.
Okay, most people know how to spend money, right? Or maybe they can save some, but they don't know the other function, that is to do what? That is actually to invest.
Right.
That's the third function. And the fourth function is to go and change the world with it. That's to contribute.
Okay.
So I would suggest that you use this, whatever you have, to start a side gig or side hustle.
Right.
Because this is a great year for you to do that. If you utilize the energies this year, the opportunity for you to start a side hustle will be one of the chances to succeed, because people will be helping you. You will see the opportunities and the problems in your industry that exists, and you can actually provide the solution as a form of a service to this problem that you see in the industry. So this will be good. Now, will it be easy? No, because you do have some sort of brutal and volatile stars that come with it.
No.
Yeah, that's the first reaction that most people have. Oh, I want it easy. I want all the money, but I want it easy.
Yes.
No, it's going to be tough, right? It's going to be tough. The question is, the rewards, I think, is worthwhile. The thing is, if we have something on our own, we get to control the direction of how money flows into our life. When you don't have something of your own, when you're working in a situation where, of course, it's stable, we get paid salary and all that, that's okay. But stability will end someday.
Yes.
Someday it has to end. And the question is, when it ends, how are we going to survive? How are we going to create the life that we want? So I would back this up with, a big question as to what is the life you want to design for yourself, and how much will it cost you? If that lifestyle that you want will cost you, let's say, a certain amount that currently you might not be able to think you can get from your current direction, I would suggest a side hustle this year, because it's perfect for it. And business partners that will be, obviously helpful to you this year are all the female lady entrepreneurs.
Really?
Yeah, they go give you good suggestions, good partners, and I think you should work together. Give it a shot. Okay,
All right.
give it a shot.
I'm going to be calling
That's
a lot of ladies.
Just because you need some sister
Right.
energy.
Yeah, because I kind of, for the longest time, because of last year, things were really bad. So my side hustles, I kind of had to suppress it, because I was just, let's focus on this one thing right now. But you're right. I have been talking to some people, and people have been open to having a chat with me about my other stuff. Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Side hustle is the thing. Now, there's one setback in this chart of yours. We call it piercing rope, and
Piercing
that actually
rope.
is this, right? And yeah, piercing rope. It's like generally you don't do it fast enough. That's the issue. Okay, let's put it this way. You do something and you take a long time, and I can, if there's one advice I can give you, is speed. Do it quickly. Okay, whatever it is, you got to do it fast and quick. You get to the point and get it done. So the faster you could do this, the quicker you could get into a stream of income.
Okay. All right. Because I do overthink
What you're doing
things,
right
and
now,
it takes forever for me to do stuff.
it just takes time. Your procrastination takes the better of you. So it's not that your idea is bad, it's that you just don't get really into it. So if you can solve this one problem, I think it'll be great for you. I think it'll be a great year.
So I like it. 2 pieces of advice from you that I will get on right now. Call a lot of ladies and do it now. Okay, cool. That's my take. All right, now let's do Asha.
Right. Okay. So of the 4 aspects, Asha, let me explain your chart. So accordingly, all right. So you are born in the year of the rat, and the month of the horse, and the day of the goat, and the hour of the goat. Okay.
Can that happen?
So,
oh wow, day and hour. Okay, interesting.
yeah, you can. Some people have a repeat of the animal signs. All right. So in your case here, you must understand that 2021 is the change year for you, not 2020. The 2020 is only career change. Okay. So 2021, it's a personal life change that you have to go through. The reason for that is because you have two goats in the chart, and goats are in opposition to the ox, and every opposition denotes an opportunity to change. So what would you be changing? That's the question, right? What would you be changing? That could be place of residence, place of work, or change model of income, or even personal life, big transformation. All right. So this is something that I think probably you've been expecting for some time, but probably put off for some period of time. But this transition is something that you need to go through for the new you to happen. So if you don't let go of this past, why I specifically said that is because there's some things that is in the past as per this chart, because it's after all a 7 killings. 7 killings is something probably painful or not so pleasant. You got to let
Did
that
you
go.
just say 7 killings?
Yeah, it's a star name that denotes some form of challenge that you probably would have to overcome. And once you do this, you have a new career, a new you will emerge. Okay, it's time to take control of your life. That's what it means. So
Already on it, universe. Already on it.
That's cool. Right. So it's now you're in the driver's seat. All right. All this while, probably not so much in the driver's seat. You've been very nice to allow other people to direct your life. But at some point, you have to say no. At some point, the answer is, you know what? You're not a good driver. I should drive it myself. This is the point. This is the year for it.
Wow. This is the year after the February 3rd, right? So I can just
Correct.
be lazy for a week
That's
or
not
so
how it
more.
works,
And then
man.
I can, okay.
You have a few weeks left. I think you probably have a plan. You're not someone without a plan. You have an inkling of what you want to do. It's just not written out. I would suggest writing your story. You're pretty good at that. So write the story that you think will happen. Don't write the dramas. Some people are very good at the dramas. I think I know you are someone that don't like the drama, but you get drawn into the dramas. So which means you like to listen to drama.
Yeah, very true.
So you tell people you don't like it, but then you listen to it. Therefore, you invite it. So here's the thing, right? Shut it off. Cancel it off. Write off these people and start your story. That it's I believe a hero story should be written.
Don't write a telenovela.
Okay. I hear you. Thank you so much for that. I will sort out me and my 7 killings.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was brilliant.
Thank you.
How's your 2021 looking like?
Yeah, for you.
Oh, a lot of changes this year. We are, as you, first of all, I need to move my house, and things are delayed.
Move your house because you want to?
I'm scheduled to move early in the year, right? So it's just that as all these delays and MCOs and stuff, so it's a big environmental change for me, but it's a good change. I'm looking forward to that change. And now it used to be that just me work from home, but now the entire organization is actually from there where they are. And it turns out to be one of the best things ever. Those days, if you talk to any Malaysian, you trust a Malaysian to work from home, they're probably not going to work. Actually, it's not true. They actually do a good job. All you have to do is I have to up my game to be a better leader. So and be a more trusting one, because if you keep trying to micromanage every single person, it's not going to work. If you give them a target and work towards a goal, and you don't want to control every aspect of their working life, in fact, it works out better. It's lower cost, it's more efficient. And I think this is transformational, and I look forward to 2021.
Did the stars tell you to move house, or you wanted to move house anyway?
I was going to ask that.
Okay. Oh, this is an interesting question. 2019, I moved to the a condo, right? And at that time, it was, if I may remember correctly, it was October, November of 2019. I told my team, I'm going to create a studio in the new condo. And my management is like, what? That's crazy. Why you want to do a studio? I'm doing an LED screen and all.
Right. Yeah.
It cost me like a 300,000 just to make up the entire studio at the time, right? So the team thought it was crazy. So we did it anyway, because I get to veto everybody. And And so it was not really used. And then February of 2020 came in. I just came back from my snowboarding, if I'm not mistaken, around that time. And we had before my snowboarding, we had a talk with the team to simulate work from home. Now, at that time, nobody is working from home. We simulated work from home. I thought, this is coming. The direction is coming. And again, people thought it was crazy. By March 18, we were all working from home and we had a simulation of how it is done. And I already have my studio. We locked down on March 18. By March 22nd, I was doing broadcast live stream. And at the time, most of the clients like, live stream? Nobody will come. Nobody knows live stream. Nobody talks about Zoom and all that stuff. And so now everyone wants live stream. So we had the studio ready. So we just hit the ground running. Your question was, did I know this was coming?
Yeah.
I didn't see this coming as a pandemic, but I see problems in terms of 2020 financial issues. We saw the financial issue quite clearly. We just didn't know the catalyst is a pandemic. I've never experienced a pandemic in my life. My parents have never experienced pandemic before. So when you look at a child, we can't guess that it's a pandemic at all. So we don't know what the catalyst was, but it did happen the way it happened.
Can I ask a question in terms of sort of, for want of a better word, I'm going to call it the map of last year that kind of showed that there were going to be a lot of problems, right? Was that map similar to past maps where, World War II was kicking off, or in history? Are there similarities where it's on this level of sort of carnage, basically, that you get similar readings?
The 60 years ago in 2020, if you look at the charts around the assassination of so if you trace back the energy patterns, it's very similar to the years prior to the Great Depression. Okay, a couple of years prior to the Great Depression. So moving on to the direction here, the reason why this is important for us to know is not to be scared of the future. I think it's to be excited, because we are with a cusp of transforming. Like those days, it was the era of the industrial age. There was a transformation from agriculture to industrial age, right? Where machineries are created and totally transformed the world. And then the next transformation that took place was the information age, right? So now we are at the new transformation that is going to take place in 2024. It starts in 2020 and the full transition takes place by 2024. It takes 4 years to make that change. So we are at this transformation, and there will be a transition of wealth. The wealth is going to move direction. The flow is going to move. Middle class is changing. The rich gets richer, and obviously the gap becomes bigger, right, between the rich and the poor. So if we are in the know, information or knowledge will make prepare ourselves with knowledge, what to do and what's the direction of this change is coming. We are able to prepare ourselves to become better in the new era. And by the way, women will be the new dominance, the power in the new era, right? So don't be surprised in the next 20 years, there will be more female leaders around the world. And
that's going to take too long. 20 years. I have to have a word with the energies about that. Too slow.
The next 4 years, we're already entering the cycle of women power.
Yeah, Kamala Harris has already kicked it off, right?
Yeah, fantastic.
I think she's on the way to become, if not her, there'll be somebody else, but she's very she has the makings in her chart of a great, of a leader of a nation.
She'll be the next president. I'll put that down now.